no one even knows what they're there for.
Okay. What is the first thing you do when someone comes in and says, I don't like my hair? Can you fix it for me? Let's go with the men, because I got many phone calls from gentlemen from the last show.
Okay.
A lot of gentlemen called me.
Yeah. Well, let me also say that whether it be man or woman, my primary concern is the person's natural growing hair.
Okay.
So I first determine what type of problem they're having, and is their scalp healthy?
Okay, okay.
If their scalp is not healthy, then I work towards getting it that way.
Okay. Now, what do you mean the scalp is not healthy? Dandruff,
Different
scabby stuff in your scalp?
Yeah,
or?
dandruff is okay, but that's just, you know, a certain type of dermatitis where there's heavy scaling, and yeah, these things need to be treated. And
can vitamins make your hair grow?
Yes, yes. Vitamins more so than just a topical solution, unless the topical solution is has an ingredient in it called minoxidil. That's what Rogaine and things like that's made of. And let me just tell you, I don't care what the product is called. It can come out with a new product every day. But if it makes claims to grow your hair, it has minoxidil of phenostat in it.
That's not good?
Oh, that is for a person who's, you know, as long as you know what you're getting. But,
but when you get started, Violet, do you have to keep on going with it? You can't quit it?
That's right, if you want to maintain
that. Because if you want to maintain what you've got, you've got to stick with it then.
Yes, you have to stick with it. You have to. And so it's for some people it's not. The pros is that it does work, but it's just temporary hair. It's more of it's not deep bedded.
Now, we're talking about hair transplants. You see the little holes in your head, and they pull up hair from the back and stick it in the top of your head. The reason why I'm asking is because one gentleman named Bob, I can't say his last name, went in for hair transplants, and they fell out later. And he's got all the little holes all over his head.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So that's why I wanted to get on today to talk about that.
Yeah. Now, there are, like anything, just like in the industry that I'm in, you have to make sure you have the right persons for the job.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, it sounded like either he had this done before it was really mastered, or he just had a really bad technician. And sometimes when this is done, the transplant, there's a stage where it has to grow, and during that period of time, it's really not the most pleasant thing to look at. And so I also supply persons who are in that stage with a wig for temporary time. But and that process continues to get better. I've seen some people where it has been successful, and that's if the person is a good candidate for it.
Yes.
That person may not even have been a good candidate for that.
It seems like to me there are a bunch of charlatans out there who take your money, give you a promise, and then after they give you the money, they don't get the promise because it doesn't grow all back.
That's right.
It doesn't.
And you know, it's a tricky thing. There's nothing like, you know, once you've lost that type of hair, the deep bedded, deep rooted hair, it's very hard to replace that. You know. Especially female or male pattern baldness is simply female, male pattern baldness. That is the hardest one to deal with. That's hereditary, and I don't care if there's a will grow, a how grow, to grow, whatever. When it's gone, that's gone. Now, what the best thing to do is try to get ahead of it. And to prevent, or at least slow the process down. And the best way to do that is internally, because our hair grows from blood cells.
Okay, we have a couple of hair pieces over, a couple of wigs. You want to show us what these are?
Absolutely.
These are beautiful.
Yeah. I will, let's see. here, as far as for the men, after I go through the process of measuring and so forth, and determining the color and the exact measurements, the style, and so on, then I have a few samples of what they look like.
Okay.
Now, this is kind of the dinosaur of them. This has been around, this type of cap, this type of perimeter and so forth has been around for some time.
It's beautiful.
It comes this way once it's, you know, done, then you can see the difference. This is a synthetic, a man's piece, and it's synthetic. And typically, men will wear the gray synthetic because gray tends to turn. It'll start yellowing and so on. But this is the better piece for nowadays.
Can I feel this one?
Certainly.
This feels 100%.
And of course, this
feels so good.
Yeah, yeah. It's see how light it is and all.
It's like a feather.
Yes. You don't even know you have it on. And this is just, this hasn't even been prepped. This is just the way it is out the box and so forth.
You just take it out, but you have several things you do
to it. It needs to be cut and everything, shampooed and so forth. But now this type here, let me show you. Once this is on, see if I can show you. You totally see scalp. Now, of course, this is way too much.
On your fingers.
Yeah, and of course, this is way too much hair here.
Of course it is.
This is cut down, and this type of material, once it's on a person's head,
it looks real already.
A person can run their fingers through it and will not know there's something on.
There's something on their head. That's
will
wonderful.
Not know it. And if you just look very closely, let's see how I can get this to look. If you can look very closely,
yes,
you can see it just will look like it's coming right out of
from the roots in their head.
Right, the roots of their head.
And their scalp.
Yeah, and the density isn't very heavy. Before you had to make a very heavy density to cover the cap that it was made of.
Right.
And they hadn't perfected the type of hair and so on, wasn't able to inject it into the cap. But that looks
very natural and very real.
Yeah.
Now where do the girls come in from?
Oh, these ladies here, this here is just European hair, and these wigs are like the creme de la creme.
I can tell they look like some of the models on television. I haven't seen a movie star yet that hasn't had something on their head.
Absolutely.
I'm serious. I watched that.
It's very hard to find someone without it now.
It is.
And then let me also mention, we have gone through a time where there were a lot of things done. Persons wore certain things to achieve certain styles that were not good for the person's head. So where do you go from there? If
they go to you.
If they, yes, absolutely. But and that became a big problem because they didn't have any more hair to weave onto and that sort of thing, because
that tears your hair out.
It pulls it out even more. Braids, weaves will pull it out even more. If you have a healthy head of hair and you just want some extra length, a different color or something like that, that is fine all day long. But if you're having any type of shedding and that sort of thing, it's not good for the person. And so there's so many solutions. These are just a few. This is a Russian hair type of wig, and but all of it is totally undetectable and very lightweight. And
it's not hot. It doesn't, because that was one question. You want to sit back in your chair, because that's what several people have asked me. Is that stuff hot? Hanging on your head, do you get sweaty and everything like that? And I said, I'll ask her that on the air.
You don't even know you have it on.
You don't even know you have it on.
You function just like you would with your own natural hair.
Now, do they wash it themselves?
They can.
They
yes.
can? Okay.
Or they can go to have it done just like they would their own natural hair.
Okay. And how long have you been doing this, Violet?
Well, I started. It piqued my interest in 1995, and then I had a few beauty supply stores, a salon, a day spa, and so on and so on. And then once I discovered this, I think about at least a good 10 years ago or so.
You've learned a lot.
All I wanted to do.
You've learned a lot.
Oh, absolutely. And a person must know, if you seek a hair replacement specialist, make sure that person has had extensive education. This is not something you can just see someone do and think, I can do it
that.
too. I can do that too.
Because it's not going to happen.
No, you're short selling yourself. No, have someone who is well experienced in this type, because it will show.
It will show. And once in your head, then it's kind of strange walking around. People can detect it. I can detect it. But when I felt this hair right here, like I said, my great niece has this Asian hair. Everything feels normal.
Yeah, and this is all unprocessed. It doesn't have a silicone and all of that on it. This is just the natural hair. And it moves and it's just like natural growing hair. Yeah, and it's a huge difference. When people come to me and feel this, you know, most people I know before they come believe that, oh, I've seen everything.
Yeah, let's see what she's got to offer.
Yeah, let's just see what she has and so forth. And they are absolutely in awe. And before we close, I do want to mention, as far as men.
Yes, please.
Men want to have this sort of thing. They want to be able to use hair as an accessory. Some men know they look better with hair.
Of course.
But they are the hardest to get in, to seek this sort of thing.
To seek the advice and treatment.
Yes, and
so
women is not a problem. How we get them to is shows like your show.
Yes.
And to assure men
it's okay.
It's okay. It's complete privacy. We guarantee the work, and you will be totally satisfied.
Because she showed me some pictures of men a while ago.
Yeah.
And they went from no hair to hair. And they looked, what was the person we mentioned back in there? The movie star.
Oh, Richard Gere.
Richard Gere. He did look like Richard Gere after he got that hair.
Once he had to put the hair on, yeah, absolutely. It's a complete transformation, And then once they realize, hey, this isn't something that's messy, it's very lightweight, I can just run my hands through it.
Okay, in the convertible, when they're driving with the top down, is it going to blow off?
No
I had to ask that. I had to. Okay.
No way. This hair functions just like your own natural growing hair. I've had people come to me and tell me, just shave off my hair and put this
and put your stuff on my head.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I tell you, it is very rewarding, and the people who discover this, it's almost like just giving them their happiness back.
So it's not going to cost them an arm and a leg, number one. It's undetectable. Don't be ashamed, guys, and don't be afraid. Go in, and they're going to love the results. If they don't, that's going to be their own problem.
Absolutely.
Because I've seen your work, and it's good. It's damn good.
Thank you.
It's very, very
much.
good.
Yeah.
And I hope the guys will relax and, you know, and say, I'm just going to go see Violet and get my hair done, and that's it.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's almost time to wrap up. We have 30 minutes that have gone so fast.
I know.
I love doing this with you. I love it. I love it because
Thanks
there's
for
so
having
many
me.
people. I love having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to thank everyone for watching. And if you have a hair problem, give Violet a call. Don't be afraid. Just give her a call and go in. And I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time.
And shall we mention Hair Medic?
Hair Medic, okay.
In Bowie, Maryland.
In Bowie, Maryland.
Right.
Hair Medic in Bowie, Maryland.
Bowie, Maryland.